Hello everyone, I'm Ann Baldwin and welcome to this edition of Law Talks. I'm joined today by attorney Ray Hassett from the law firm of Hassett and George. And we're talking about divorce, a painful process, a tough decision to make, but once someone has made up their mind, this is it. What are the suggested next steps from a legal perspective?
Well, once you've decided that you do want to get divorced, you have to determine how you want to get divorced, whether it's going to be in conjunction with your spouse, in other words, that you're going to work together, or alternatively, if you're going to go the old-fashioned route and just retain separate counsel and go through the process in a way that's more adversarial. That's probably the most important decision, obviously, that you can make at the very onset of divorce proceedings.
Some people say, I'm getting divorced because my spouse cheated. In Connecticut, it really isn't a factor, is it?
Well, it is and it isn't. The legal basis for getting divorced, which is called a dissolution of marriage, there doesn't have to be any fault or any reason for that. So you can wake up one morning and you can decide you don't want to be married anymore for no reason and get divorced. Where it may play a role is if one of the spouses has done something to adversely impact or affect the other spouse in a financial way. For example, gambling debts or something else that has impacted the family in the family unit rather, then that can be considered by the court. So it plays a very limited role, but it can play a role.
And then children. Children are involved. That complicates things too, because usually there's some sort of a custody struggle.
Sure, and what we're seeing more and more now is, and I'm encouraging, is parents to consult with mental health professionals, individuals that are trained in dealing with children, dealing with the psychology of a divorce, and helping and assisting the children through the process as well as the parents. We find that it's clear there's all kinds of literature that a very combative divorce affects children, as we can all imagine, but it has been statistically established. So what we try to do from the very beginning is try to squelch that and to try to get them to work on the same page. And usually we do use parent facilitators, coordinators, and we use mental health professionals to try to get them there.
So people ask you, how costly is it? I guess it depends on how civil you want to keep it, and that's really the bottom line, and it will impact your bottom line.
Yeah, divorce is a little bit unusual in the fact that it's often directed and dictated by emotions as opposed to logic. So as a result, that sometimes those emotions can be very expensive. I've had cases where people have fought over custody of dogs, and I've had other what I call insignificant things, maybe significant to them, but it creates a whole host of different issues, problems, and costs that are associated with that. So obviously the more that parents can get along and parties can get along to resolve a number of their issues, the cheaper it's going to be.
Some very interesting and important information that you need to know. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Law Talks. Of course, additional information is on the website at hgesq.com.